Hi, I'm Arvind, and this is a walkthrough of the products CodeFox. So, given that you have enough context, I'll just try to keep it just in the context. CodeFox is basically early intent or early first mover intelligence monitoring to start off with the web, and it would go beyond physical sensor telemetry data. The structure is supported for all, but right now the data source is web. Uh, all right. So I'll tell you what the web app is about. Once you come to a web app, you'll have something like your dashboard. In your dashboard, you would be able to see what your interests are, my teams. If you have a team subscription, your team's interests are, and what's shared with me from somebody else, and so on. And in general, across intelligence, and I have a couple of public alerts that are configured that you guys can go check. I cannot see it because I have those are configured by me. Yeah. So anyway, I would say a beginner user, this is the flow. Like you would go through the onboarding flow once you sign in. Now mine is filled. That is, you would go to your profile page. Your profile page, think about is like the context of who you are and what you are. And this is very good. The alerts and the interest that you get are way better because I'm able to understand a system. It is able to understand what you are and who you are, and this should be seamless because you can just give a general small paragraph either about you yourself typed or get it from ChatGPT. This is about just who you are and so on and so on, not too much details. And for example, what are a couple of your social media URLs, we will be able to understand what you post, what you like, etc., to understand your intentions. So for example, I put my X URL, LinkedIn URL, my GitHub, my personal website, so on, and what time do you want your daily digest at, and so on. No, from Claude, what I do is like I already imported. This is, I think this could be a power user if you configure this. A couple of people, existing people, told me that they saw a huge benefit when they added this in the performance. There's an automatic prompt. It doesn't get any personal information. You can copy it and edit and insert put in your ChatGPT or Claude, whichever you use. Basically, you'll be able to get some context about your professional career, what do you monitor, and so on. Because once you do that, for example, I'll show what it did for me. It tries to understand who am I, what do I track, what are my active interests, what's my thesis, and ideally it would be able to also suggest you what's your suggested monitoring priorities, and it can give you really good ones. Now, coming to the hooks, you have notification channels to your email by default, and you can connect. If it's not connected, it would show you the process to connect to Telegram or WhatsApp, where you can not open the app and just communicate, get your alerts on a daily basis in your WhatsApp or something. I'll show you that at the towards the end. Right now, I'll show you an alert, for example, that I have configured for me. For example, I monitor founder origination, all Indian and Indian diaspora before they even incorporate. These are early intelligences, right? Now, all you would do as an person, yeah, I'll show you the creation flow. You would only put this search query. What is your search query? Founder origination India. Rest of all these descriptions, signals. Signals are basically decomposing what you want to track into multiple stuff. All this would be created by itself on a conversational flow. But once you come to the setting, you can reconfigure it anytime. For example, I put it as FANG departure signal. So any senior position at FANG, etc. With the league, let me know. So what do you mean? Do you want any occurrence or do you want something abnormal? Usually month on month say there are only 5 people in FANG leaving and this is a sudden increase in your baseline. Stuff like that. You could put you can type what's your trigger action. Hey, no, any marketing folk, because I am looking for marketing folks leaving, any tech folk. You could add your own threshold that beyond which you want to monitor and so on. Once this is done, it would give you reports like this, and you could open these full reports. I'll show the full report as well. Yeah, if you look at this a full report, it would have details. For example, what's my top important issues, like Kanna, senior scientist at Google, had posted a technical substack and ideas on molecular, I mean LLMs and so on. Why this matters? It would tell you that he's leaving Google and he is probably building something important, and it is probably you can have him in your mind, back of the mind, that he is building a company. You can reach out to him and so on. Stuff like that. Very early intelligence you would be able to get from social media networks and so on directly here. Bits Pilani student project gain traction. Now, this is something you wouldn't get obviously. This is something, it tracks the GitHub repo, how much starts is getting. Neha Reddy from Bits Pilani built a Lingua AI repo that was open source and started getting huge traction. Let me say. So it would be able to get early information signals, who's seeing this repo and so on. Stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, Coming back to the reports, I'll show you how you can configure an interest as well. It's quite simple. If you click the interest, what do you want to monitor? Say, for example, early disruptions in battery technology by Indian startups. Something that I want to monitor, say, suppose. It would say, okay, what will this what do you why do you want to monitor this for? Do you want to do investment, a competitive thesis, partnership thesis, personal research? See, that's the beauty. It'll there are different angles to each thing. Now, what is your priority? Yeah, my priority is because probably I'm trying to play the role of investor here, so it would do that, and it will take a couple of minutes to come up with a detailed plan, and I'll share that once it's done. Meanwhile, I'll show you how a brief looks, daily brief. Yeah, this is I have somewhere. Yeah, where is that? That's my daily brief. Yeah. So this is my daily brief. For example, the another feature that we have is a daily brief. Hey, I don't want to know how I may have 20 interests and I want to know only I'll deep dive on only one and I have significant improvement. It would have a daily brief sent to you. Hey, these are your interests that you have, and there's something important in this. In founder organization that you're monitoring, in that a particular signal, there's something underreported, and say in enterprise, say implementation software Fortune 500 you're monitoring, there is an Anthropic exclude, like Department of Defense, it excluded Anthropic, right? The reason was explained yesterday, so you might want to look the primary resource, why it did that, and so on. For each alert, it would tell me what are all the key stuff, and you can go to that and click on the full brief, and it would lead you to the full report that you can go and view. That's the full report. Let me click on that. Say, click on the full brief. Meanwhile, it's loading. Yeah, while it's loading, it would basically open a full PDF like this, explaining what that is. Meanwhile, yeah, this is about it. Let me know if you need help.